So we obviously know that success requires sacrifice. You talk about it on your show all the time. You have to give up, drinking, smoking, whatever it is, addictions, vices. But a lot of people, even though they know that, they don't do it. So what were some sacrifices that you personally had to give up, and kind of how did you get over that?
Yeah. So first of all, just for the sake of the audience, I'm going to tell everybody this right now. You realize that you need to give certain things up to achieve this other thing that you want that's more valuable to you. But as humans, we're a little fucked up. We're like, I think I could achieve that other thing while also doing this stupid thing, right? Whatever the vice is. Only to 2 years, 3 years to go by, and then you're going, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I better just stop this vice so I could really achieve what I want. So if you want to save yourself 2 or 3 years of just suffering, just stop the thing that you should not be doing so that you could do more of the thing you should be doing. But a few sacrifices that I could think of is I was hanging around with people who were just getting stupid on the weekends, right? So they would excessively drink. They would party hard and stay awake at night. Friday night would lead to Saturday night, would lead to Sunday night. And then they were like completely fucked up on a Monday but they also had jobs. Yet I was trying to be an entrepreneur, but I was hanging out with them. Now, I wasn't drinking heavily, but I'd have a drink here and there. So I'd wake up a little foggy-headed the next day. Well, just in time to sober up, we're partying again Saturday night, then again on Sunday. So the group that I hang out with changed. It should have changed a few years earlier, and it was a sacrifice that I had to make for the outcome that I wanted, number one. Number two, I had to start saying no to more family events. Like, this is a big one. Like family events, like cousin so-and-so's getting married, cousin so-and-so's 50th birthday party, cousin so-and-so's 20th anniversary, your uncle's this. Like, bro, the Armenian culture, there's so many aunts, uncles, and cousins. Like, if I went to every birthday, wedding, anniversary, funeral, every weekend would be spoken for. And I realized if I'm going to be successful as an entrepreneur, I need to take advantage of my weekends. Because think about this, there's 52 weeks in a year. That means I have 52 extra weekends that if I dedicate my weekends to building my side gig, I could get there faster. So I had to say no, and I actually broke my mom's heart, man. Like, she was like, oh, so-and-so's getting married, why aren't you coming? Yeah. Well, Mom, because I don't even hang out with that cousin anymore. I don't see that cousin anymore. And I remember what she said. She goes, but it's going to look bad on our family if you don't come. And I said, Mom, I don't think it's going to look as bad as you think it is. I think that's all in your guys' head because the culture is all fucked up that way. And even if they gossip for a day or two, they're going to move on and find something else to gossip about.
Yeah. So you were willing to push back?
Yeah, you have to be willing to push back if you want something that's greater than the thing that you have now. Another thing was staying awake. Dude, I was the king of I just enjoyed watching TV, like good shows. And I was like, all right, I can stay awake till 1:30, 2 in the morning watching good shows, and then still try and get up early and work. But the work I was doing, sales copy, email copy, blog posts, right? Pre-social media. So think 2007, 8, 9. Social media hadn't really popped off yet. Yeah. And so it was a lot of email marketing, blog posts, website copy. I was the one writing all that. Well, when you're sleep deprived and your brain's not functioning well, you're not writing your best blog posts, emails, and website copy. And so I was like, fuck, man, I think I'm gonna have to make the sacrifice. That's where this new rule came up that I have now for over 15 years now. Like every night, we watch one episode of whatever, and that's it. And then hit the hot tub and then go to bed, right? No more, let's just binge watch the whole season in 2 nights. You know what I mean? Like, that was me.
Yeah.
All while trying to
change that up myself.
Right? Yeah, you know that. It's like, of course I want to see like every episode now because Netflix or Prime put it out. But I also want that multi-million-dollar business because I don't want to live in this janky house. I want that really nice house. Right. And
but the reason I brought up the pushing back part against your mom is because that's hard for most people. And it was even hard for you. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Like, I'm not going to go because I don't want to.
I felt bad.
You felt bad. For me in my situation where you just said about only watching one episode, I'm not a big TV person, honestly. I'll spend time on YouTube, but not really watching Netflix shows, whatever. Betsy, my wife, is Netflix and Hulu and whatever else. Oh, this new show, I want to watch it with me. So to make her happy, I'm like, oh, let's get into it, right? Let's watch it. And there's this show called Bridgerton. She wanted to watch it. So I'm sitting down watching it with her. And they're long freaking episodes. And so before you know it, Netflix, they just roll in from one episode straight to the other one. And I'm like, I know I need to go to sleep. but you're just hanging out and
You're
time
locked
just
in.
goes lower, later and later. And so anyways, a message for the people watching that it doesn't matter if it's your wife, your mom, whatever, you have to put your foot down and be like, hey, listen, for the, the greater big for everything, for the family, I'm doing this for us, whether you believe it or not.
Mastery means doing what you have to do because you're called to do it over what you want to do because you don't feel like doing it.
It absolutely exceeded my expectations.
Incredibly epic event, incredibly inspiring.
Surrounding yourself with these millionaires and billionaires and them openly sharing their concepts, their steps.
And at BK Live, every single speaker has been there, done that 10 times over.
So much energy, so much motivation, and just want to strive to be better just by being here alone.
Bro, you nailed it. That's exactly it. Like, if the thing you want is greater than the thing you have, then you have to make the sacrifice. And sometimes the sacrifice is drawing the line with your spouse, drawing the line with your mom or dad, drawing the line with like friends. Like, fellas, I can't just go belly up to a bar every fucking weekend. Like, I like the idea of it and I like reminiscing about days past, but all I have is the weekends to work on my business while I have a day job. The difference is they don't plan on leaving their day job. I do. And so you have to do the thing that's going to feed that thing. And I'm telling you, for most of us, we end up pulling the trigger too late. I wish I would have pulled the trigger at least a year or two, even 3 years sooner on many of those things. Because think how much easier it would have been to stack the millions without the anxiety and the sleep deprivation. Okay, gee, I slept 3 hours. Now I got to write sales copy to get all these people to come to a live event.
Right.
That's going to be the shittiest copy ever. And it was. And then I'd go back and rewrite the copy. Now I'm panicking because we're a month and a half away from the event. Like, who needs that stuff, man? So make the sacrifice now. It'll pay off in the long run.
Listen, the last part I have on this is we talked about family. I mean, when you get married, a spouse becomes your family. But what about friends? A lot of times I feel like you want to impress your friends more than anybody else. Your parents, your siblings, your spouse, whatever. Your friends are like your boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you don't want to be looked at as the weird one out of the group, right? So what did you tell your friends, or what do people tell their friends if they're like, you want to be, Mr. Big Shot now or whatever, right? Like, it's kind of, sounds simple where you can just be like, well, just don't talk to him. But what did you do?
Well, so 2 of my friends have stuck, which is Chanta and Caesar, right? From back then. And the rest who were like that, I was like, all right, I'm going to be like, fellas, I hope you guys support me in this venture that I'm on. I hope you all have my back. But in the meantime, I can't be hanging out on weekends. And I got all of that. Like, oh, you're Mr. Big Shot. You want to be a big entrepreneur. You're going to stack the millions. Oh, okay. Good luck. Right. So I ended up actually just parting ways from that friendship. It wasn't like a fight. It wasn't like, man, you guys are assholes and I'll never talk to me again or nothing like that. It's just we fell out of touch. Chanta and Caesar, bro, they kept in touch. Hey, how's it going? Good. It's been a couple years. Haven't seen you, bro. Just checking in. All right, thanks for checking in, Chant. Still fucking trying to figure out this franchising thing, right? I remember like there was no joke, a 6-year period where me and Chanta just texted. And bro, we live like 30 miles away. We texted, checking in on each other and how's the kids and stuff like that. Because he had a young family. And we never saw each other for 6 years because that was my growth phase. That was like, I was all in. Like, I remember literally thinking, I hate to say this, but this is the truth. I remember thinking like, man, I hope my mom and dad do not get sick or injured or go in the hospital right now or die. I literally didn't have time for them to do that, right? Now, God forbid if they had during that growth phase. Because remember, it wasn't like, recently last September, my mom died. Well, we've got a great team. You guys are all fucking awesome. All the leadership team upstairs took care of everything while I was grieving and taking care of my mom's death, right? Back then when I was starting out, I didn't have that. So I remember actively thinking like, dude, my parents can't get sick. They can't get hospitalized right now. They can't die. I simply do not have the time, let alone the money to help them out. And thankfully they didn't. They lasted a while. And so that was important to me because there was no way I was going to be able to disconnect from everything I'm doing. But the friends who did understand, like Chanta and Caesar, now I hang out with them on a regular basis. Now we see them. Now they're like, dude, we're so proud of you. And you know what's crazy about them? Every time we're hanging out somewhere, we're grabbing lunch or dinner, or after we surf, we'll grab some tacos at Chronic Tacos there in Dana Point. We're fighting for the credit cards still. Like, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm pulling out the American Express Black Card, but they're such true friends that they're like, dude, you can't buy our tacos every time. We're going to buy you some fucking tacos.
Yeah.
How fucking rad is that? Like, those were the real fucking homies. And you've been to places with me where we're with like industry influencers and industry thought leaders. And as soon as it's time to fucking pony up, I'm the one pulling out my Black Card and everyone else is fucking looking around, pretending like they don't see the check. Yeah. Like, so the real ones will get it.
Yeah.
The fake ones will identify themselves and they'll just fly out of your life.